Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to Nine9's virtual open call. My name is Luna. I am one of the senior directors of New Talent. Today, I will be conducting this virtual open call, but before I get started, I asked everybody to message me your names under the Q&A section. Most of you did. Thank you so much for doing so. If you haven't done so already, please go under the Q&A section and message me your full name so I can go ahead and get you checked in, and we can go ahead and get started. All right, so if you haven't messaged me your name just yet, please go under the Q&A section and message me your full name. Daryl, no, you're not. You're good. Three different Davids here. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for the quick responses. I appreciate it. For those of you who just got onto the call, hello and good afternoon. Welcome to Nine9's virtual open call. I'll be starting here in just one moment. Please make sure, for those of you who haven't done so already, go under the Q&A section and message me your full name so I can go ahead and get you checked in here. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Perfect. Alicia, no, only you can. But I did get you checked and I changed your name on here. All right, so for those of you who just got onto the call, hello and good afternoon and happy Friday. My name is Luna. I am one of the senior directors of New Talent, and today I will be conducting this virtual open call. So what's going to happen is I'm just going to go through and tell you a little bit about our company, about Nine9. I will also talk about some of the auditions that we're currently working on. And then towards the end, I would love to go through all of your questions. So if anything does come up while I'm speaking, you're always more than welcome to shoot your questions under the Q&A section. One thing I do want you to keep in mind, I do not look at the Q&A section while I'm speaking, so please don't think that I'm ignoring you. I will go through all of your questions though towards the end. This call shouldn't take more than like 20, 25 minutes tops. Now, a little background about me. I actually started with the company as a client. So years ago, I had my own clothing line, and this is where my models would come from for my fashion shows and photo shoots. So I was actually brought on board to run our corporate office, which is located here in Michigan, back in November of 2015. So I've been with Nine9 for a little over 9 years. Nine9 itself has actually been around since 2003. So what we do here is we help aspiring actors and models like yourself to get started and to be seen within the industry. We are not an agency. We're a talent development company. So we help develop you, we help promote you, we help submit you out, and then throughout that whole process, we do help prepare you and train you for all of the auditions that we're submitting you out to. Prior to COVID, we did have offices in pretty much every major market. We had an office out in LA. We've had an office in Miami, in Dallas, in Cleveland, in Atlanta, in Chicago. We had a couple of offices in New York. Our corporate office is here in Michigan, which is also where our castings department is located. So our castings department, they're the ones submitting you out to public castings and to private castings. And I'm going to go over the difference between the two shortly, but we do submit you out everywhere in Canada and everywhere in the US. It doesn't matter where you're located. As long as you have an internet connection and a webcam, you can actually audition from anywhere. All right. If the client wants you to travel, then the client will actually pay for your traveling expenses. And I'm going to get more into that in a little bit. But before we get started with any of that, I'm very interested to know what you're here for. You may be here for acting only. You may be here just for modeling only. Or you may be here for everything, for acting and for modeling. To get an idea of which topic to focus on first, I would love to know what you're here for. So I am going to have you utilize the raise hand button. It's just the button that says raise hand on it. Okay. If you are here for strictly acting, no modeling, just acting only, please click on the raise hand button for me. Okay. Thank you. You can go ahead and lower your hands. Thank you so much. If you're here for modeling only, click on the raise hand button for me. Strictly modeling, no acting. Sharon and Martarius and Madison. Thank you. You guys can go ahead and lower your hands. Thank you so much. Amber, you as well. Thank you so much. Now, if you're here for both, if you're here for acting and for modeling, could you please click on the raise hand button for me? Oh, Madison, you're here for both, not just for modeling only. I got you. All right. Thank you. Okay, so you guys can go ahead and lower your hands. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So let's go ahead and get started with modeling first, because when I asked if anybody's here for modeling only, I only had about 3 or 4 of you who are here for just strictly modeling, and then a little bit less than half of you are not open to modeling at all. So before you completely shut down the modeling field, I'm just going to give you a quick breakdown just to give you an idea of what it entails. Because, when it comes to the modeling field as a whole, a lot of people, when they think of the word modeling, the first thing that usually people think of, or the first thing that usually comes to mind, will be high fashion, which is for runway shows. High fashion is the most popular division. That's why that's the first thing that people think of when they hear the word modeling. But it only covers about like 3% of the modeling field, if that. And the reason is because of all of the restrictions. So in order for you to be qualified to get into high fashion, you would have to be between the ages of 16 to 26. As a female, you got to be between the height of 5'8" to 6 foot. Your size has to be between 4 to 6. As a male, you got to be between the height of 5'11" to 6'3", and then your waist size has to be between 30 to 32. So that's one of the biggest reasons why high fashion will actually cover such a small percentage. Everyday people will not be able to fit into that criteria. But when it comes to the modeling field as a whole, like I said, there are several categories you can get into. The second category is promotional modeling. So with promotional modeling, you're going to either promote a product or a service at a live event. And these events can be sporting events, they can be festivals, auto shows, concerts, it could be trade shows, conventions. Now, since you're going to promote, like I said, either a product or a service at a live event, you have to be at least at the age of 18. You have to have a good look. You got to have a very warm, very outgoing personality. And you definitely have to have strong communication skills. Now, the third type of modeling is print. Print covers over 80% because with print, there are no restrictions. So there is no age range and there are no height requirements because these clients are actually looking for all types of people. They're looking for all shapes. They're looking for all sizes, all ethnicities, and most definitely all age groups. These clients are looking for all types of people. So that way they're able to represent their everyday products. Because print covers everything that you'll see on a daily basis, which can include online ads, magazines, billboards, catalogs, ad campaigns. We've actually had some of our talent appear on online ads and billboards for Nike, for American Express, for Dove, for Red Bull, just to name a few. And as far as the ages go, our youngest talent is at the age of 3. My oldest is 87. So really, you shouldn't have any issues getting into print modeling. But if you didn't raise your hand for any type of modeling, I really hope at least right now you have a better idea of what you could be a good fit for. And listen, I get it. Acting may be your passion, it may be your goal. Acting may be something that you've always been wanting to get into. It's probably what brought you into this call today. That's totally fine. What I'm saying is, if the right modeling opportunity comes your way, consider it. You never know the amount of exposure one opportunity could get you. Getting your name out there, getting your face out there, that's going to help you with your acting career. Now let's get into acting, which is what most of you are here for. Acting is going to cover everything else. It'll cover movies, it'll cover commercials, it'll cover TV shows, music videos, reality shows, it'll cover voiceover acting, theater work. Currently, we're mostly casting for movies, for tons of TV shows and tons of commercials. So we're actually looking for new actors. We're looking for new talent like yourself, for new faces, to submit out to our clients everywhere in Canada and everywhere in the US. It doesn't matter where you're located. As long as you have an internet connection, as long as you have a webcam, and like I said, as long as you have a smartphone, you can audition from anywhere. Now, if the client wants you to travel, the client will pay for your traveling expenses. About 5, 6 years ago, before COVID happened, things were a little different, right? Because back then, rarely would you find a client that would be open to doing an audition virtually. Auditions, typically, they were held in person. So you would either have to drive out to that location just to audition, or if you're not located in any of the major markets, a lot of the times you would be flying out to different locations just to audition. Expenses always come out of pocket. But since COVID happened, things changed. The industry went virtual and it remained virtual. That is why right now it is industry standard that if the client wants you to travel, the client will pay for your traveling expenses. Okay. Now, you may have applied to one of the auditions that we're currently working on, or you may have applied just straight through our website because you're interested in the whole acting and modeling industry. Now, when you applied, our castings department received your application and they were actually able to match you to several of the auditions that we're currently working on. So they invited you into this private virtual open call that we're on right now to get you set up and submitted out. Now, some of the big projects that we're currently working on that you could be a good fit for may include season 4 of The Bear, season 3 of Monster. We're also submitting our talent out to Dexter Resurrection for the new Will Ferrell's and Zac Efron's upcoming film, which is called Judgment Day. There's another upcoming film with Sydney Sweeney. She's going to be playing the legendary female boxer, Christy Martin. We've also been working on the 6th season of The Chosen for the Chicago series, Chicago Med, Chicago Fire, and Chicago PD. We've also been working on the 3rd season of Billy the Kid, on Mark Wahlberg's movie called By Any Means. There is also a nationwide Domino's commercial that we're currently working on that's paying $5,500. There's another nationwide commercial for CoverGirl that's actually paying $6,000 to $8,000. There's also a Verizon commercial. There is a Chick-fil-A commercial. Chime, the Chime cards. So Chime Company right now, they're requesting for Chime users for their commercial, and they're paying $3,700. There's also a Speedway commercial. Lowe's right now, they have a commercial where they're requesting for veterans. These are just some of the big projects we're currently working on. Now, for every big project that I just mentioned, there are hundreds of other opportunities they could also be a good fit for. And as far as the ages go, with our actors, we also do starter actors from age 3 and all the way up as well. So, whether you're going to do this because of one of the auditions I mentioned, or if you're going to do this because maybe this is something that you've always been wanting to get into, regardless of why you're doing this, the process will remain the same. So normally, this open call, it would have been held in person. I would have actually had you come into our location. I would have sat down with you one-on-one. I would have gotten your marketing materials set up and submitted you out directly to clients. Now, you may or may not be too familiar with what marketing materials are, so I'll just give you a quick breakdown. In order for you to be considered for any audition, you need your marketing materials. And this is not a requirement just within Nine9. This is a requirement within the industry. As a model, you're set up with the COM card. A COM card is short for a composite card containing about 4 to 5 photos. And you will also include your measurements and your contact information. As an actor, you're set up differently. As an actor, you're set up with the headshot, which is just the photo of your face only. And then you'll also have a resume. Now, on your resume, you'll include your contact information. You'll include all of your measurements. Now, your measurements are only there for wardrobe purposes, by the way. You will also include a list of all of your skills. Any skills that you have, any hobbies, anything you're good at, we need to know about. So we would need to know if you can sing. We would need to know if you can play any sports, if you can dance, if you can speak any languages fluently. We would need to know if you can drive a car, if you can ride a motorcycle. Can you swim? You know, do you have any military background? Are you a chef? Are you a firefighter? The reason we need to know about your skills is because based on these skills, based on your hobbies, based on what you're good at, we can better determine which auditions will be the best auditions to submit you out to. So if the client is requesting for someone who knows how to ski, okay, when we're going through to decide who we're submitting out, we're only going to submit you out if you can ski. And the only way for us to know that, it's if it's listed under your skill sets, or if the client is requesting for someone who knows how to speak Spanish fluently. Again, if you cannot speak Spanish fluently, you will not be submitted out. And the only way for us to know to be submitting you out, it's if that would be listed under your skill sets. Okay. And then obviously, if you have any acting or any modeling experiences or training that you've received within the industry, all of that will go on your online or on your resume as well. Now, speaking of experiences, just out of curiosity, how many of you don't have any acting or any modeling experiences? Can you please click on the raise hand button for me if you don't have any? Okay. You guys can go ahead and lower your hands. Thank you. Now, I did realize that some of you are sending me some questions. Please don't think that I'm ignoring you. I'm going to be going through all of those questions very shortly, okay? I do appreciate your patience. All right, so listen, I don't want you to feel like if you don't have any experiences that you're not going to be submitted out. That is not how it works because you're not submitted out based on your experience. You are always submitted out based on your looks and based on your skill sets. So let's say, for example, let's say you're in your mid-30s, you know, and some of the skills that you have include singing, playing basketball, swimming, and speaking Spanish fluently. Now, let's say that the client has requested for someone who's in the late 20s who can speak Spanish fluently. If you can pass for someone who looks like they're in their late 20s, we're submitting you out because your looks match and because your skill sets match. Now, had that client requested for someone who's in their early 40s who can speak Spanish fluently, again, if you can pass for someone who looks like they're in their early 40s, then we'll go ahead and submit you out. So that's what I mean. When I say we're submitting you out based on your looks, it doesn't mean good looking and it does not mean bad looking. It just means that your looks, your characteristics, they have to match what the client requested for. Okay? So now that things are held virtually, your marketing materials, you know, your COM card, your headshot, your resume, they're also going to be set up digitally. So I do set you up with an online casting profile. Now, on your online casting profile, you'll have about 10 photos to upload. Do you need all 10 photos? No, you don't. All you really need is about like 3 to 4 photos. You will also be able to upload your measurements, your skill sets, any training, any experiences that you've received, you know, within the industry. All of that will go on your online casting profile. Now, setting you up digitally gives you full control over your portfolio and it gives you full access to all of the castings in Canada and all of the castings in the US. Okay. Now, the way that the submission process works is very easy. When a client, a casting director, a producer, an agent, when they're requesting for talent, they'll give us a breakdown of what they want that character to look like. So they'll give us like an age range. And then they'll give us any specific skill sets that they want each character to have. So our castings department, what they'll do is they'll input all of that information into our database. And if you match that description, your online casting profile will pop up and we'll submit you directly out to that client. Now, the client will be the one to decide if they're interested in you. Okay. When you get selected, we'll call you. We will text you. We will also email you with all of the details about that specific audition. So we'll obviously give you the date and the time of the audition, but we'll also give you the information about the client ahead of time, just so that way you'll know exactly who the client is. You'll have their contact information. You'll know what the client has requested for and obviously how much they're going to pay you. All you got to do is let us know if you're interested. If you're not, that's okay. You declining an offer does not penalize you in any way. At the end of the day, you will always have the final say whether you're interested in pursuing the opportunity or not. Excuse me. And if you're not interested, we just move on to the next talent. It doesn't penalize you in any way. But if you are interested, that's when we're going to go ahead and start preparing you specifically for that audition. So these types of castings, these are private castings. They're mostly for the high-end clients. They're not going to be publicly posted, at least not immediately, because they don't want just anybody from the public to submit themselves to them. They like to choose which talent they're mostly interested in auditioning first before the casting goes public. Now, we also do provide you with public castings as well. And, one of the biggest differences between the private and public castings is that many public castings may not pay you as much. I mean, a lot of them are much easier to book, but a lot of these public castings can pay you anywhere between $200 to $300, and that could very easily go up to like $600-700 per day, just depending obviously on what the client has requested for. But even with the public castings, we still provide you with all of the details. Like I said, you have access to castings everywhere in Canada and everywhere in the US. Doesn't matter where you're located. You can view castings by city. You can view castings by state, by zip code, by postal code. And then a list of castings will pop up that are currently active within that area, just to make it easier for you to go through and choose which castings you're mostly interested in pursuing. Okay. And I know you're very new to this. You've probably never even auditioned before, and that's okay. As I mentioned earlier, we help prepare you and train you for every single audition we're submitting you out to. So 3 times a week, we actually provide you with workshops. These are acting and modeling virtual workshops that we provide to you weekly. They're optional. They're not mandatory. So you'll always have the ability to choose which workshops you'd like to attend, just depending on the topic of the workshop, depending on the date, depending on the time. But every time that you do attend a workshop, we're going to add that onto your resume. So what happens is it helps you build up your resume with training. But the more training that you're going to get, the more opportunities you're going to be able to book, because they do help prepare you for the auditions that we're submitting you out to. And these workshops are so convenient. Excuse me. They're convenient because you don't have to go anywhere for them, right? Excuse me. But yeah, you don't have to go anywhere for these workshops. They're not held in person. These workshops are held virtually. So it doesn't matter where you're located. You can attend these workshops from the comfort of your location. And even though they're held virtually, these will not be any pre-recorded videos. No, these are live interactive workshops. So with them being live, it actually allows you to interact directly with the instructor, just in case if you ever had any questions. Now here at Nine9, we're not an agency, so we're not having you sign any types of contracts. Whatever you'll make, you'll keep, whether if that's $200 or $3,000. 100% of that goes directly to you. We don't get a commission. We don't get a percentage off of what you make. So whatever you'll make, you'll keep. Normally, as I mentioned earlier, before this whole COVID-19 happened, in order for you to register through Nine9, you would have had to walk into one of our physical locations and you would have paid a one-time setup fee of $499 and then just a monthly of $39.95 to keep the account active. Now, with everything that's been going on in the world right now, we are not going to do that. We've actually made things so much more affordable. So what we did is we took that $499 and dropped it all the way down to only $99. That is a one-time, lifetime setup fee covering everything. It covers your online casting profile. So that's going to include your com card, headshot, and resume. It covers all the public and all the private castings that we submit you out to in Canada and in the US. And then it also includes the workshops. So like I said, there are 3 workshops held every week. They're held on Tuesdays, on Thursdays, and on Saturdays. So roughly about 12 workshops a month. That's all included. You don't have to worry about the $39.95. I'm actually going to waive that for you for the next 2 weeks. And that's something that you can always cancel anytime. There are no cancellation fees. Okay. So what I'm going to do right now, I am going to activate your online casting profile. I'm going to give you access to your portfolio. I am also going to give you access to the castings and to the workshops as well. All right. So to activate your online casting profile, I do need to get you registered first. What I want you to do right now, I want you to go under the Q&As or under the chat section. Meet me at the chat section, which should be at the bottom of the screen. Once you go into the chat section, you'll notice that I just sent you a link. I do want you to click on the link because it'll direct you to the registration page. You'll see up top, it'll say new talent sign up. I do want you to go ahead and fill that out. When you finish filling that out, though, stay where you're at. Don't go anywhere until I call you out to confirm with you that I did receive your registration form. Now, once I do receive your registration form, I will activate your online casting profile. I'll set you up with your login information. I will give you access to your portfolio. So when you log on to your portfolio, you're given access to the casting. So you're able to start working on those immediately. I will send you a second email. The second email will include a list of all of the workshops that we currently do have scheduled for the whole month of April. We do have a workshop scheduled for tomorrow afternoon. So I'll include that in the email for you as well, just in case if you do want to attend it, you'll have the ability to do so. All right. I know I was detailed enough, but if you still have any questions, please don't hesitate. Let me know under the Q&A section. I do like to answer your questions out loud unless you don't want me to. So if you do have any questions that you would like for me to answer privately, that is not a problem at all. Just make sure to add the word private for me at the beginning of the question, and I'll make sure to keep that question answered privately for you under the Q&A section. All right. Let's see here. Jalisa, no. And then we also do set up one-on-one meetings with you, Jalisa, in our castings department at least once a month. So what happens is once you've registered, I set you up with a one-on-one meeting with our castings department so they can meet with you individually to go over your portfolio to make sure that everything is set up correctly as far as your photos, your skill sets, your measurements. And then also during the one-on-one meeting, they'll be able to go over castings with you. So if there's anything specific you want to be submitted out to, you can let them know and they'll submit you out directly. They can always check and see what you were submitted out to, what you were requested for, what you were rejected on. And we do like to set up these meetings once a month at least at a day and time that works best for you, just so we can go through the progress and make sure that not only are you being submitted out to projects, but also that you're booking more opportunities as well. Julian, so perfect. You would be a fit for one of the commercials, at least, that I talked about. Quentin, acting for you. Just to let you know, when I activate your online casting profile, I activate you under everything, under acting and under modeling, just because I would rather submit you out to everything that you're going to be a good fit for. My job is to get you selected. And then once you've gotten selected, at that point, you can always decide whether if that's going to be something that you're interested in or not. Thelma, right? I hope I said that correctly. All of that would actually go on your resume. And if you do have any videos, you can also add videos on your online casting profile as well. Parker Clemens, yes. So when you log on to your account, you're given access to all of the castings. You're able to start working on those immediately. David, that's all you. Love it. Rebecca Guzman, so once you've registered on the link that I sent over to you, I will email you your login information, so your username and your password. Once you log on to your account, you'll have the ability to upload your photos, your measurements, your skill sets. If you have any videos, you can also upload videos onto your online casting profile, just to let you guys know. Daryl, yes, you're just doing the one-time setup fee of the 99. For those of you who are asking me private questions, please make sure that you do check under the Q&A section. I am responding back to you privately, just to let you know. Jaleisha, I hope I said that correctly. So we create your portfolio for you, your comp card, headshot, and resume. The template is going to be set up for you already. When you log on, you just log on and plug in the information. All right, Odell Thomas, congrats. I did receive yours. You are good. Jeffrey Bodin, congratulations. I received yours as well. Michael Anthony, is it Woodox? Did I say that correctly? I received yours as well. Congrats. Thelma Maxwell Lane, congratulations. I did receive yours. And is it Shasina Boyer? Did I say that correctly? I just received yours as well. Congratulations. For those of you who just registered, give me just a couple of minutes to activate your online casting profiles. Now, for those of you who registered, within the next, I would say 3 to 4 minutes, you're going to get a text message from Devon just welcoming you to the company. Save his number. In case if you ever had any questions regarding any specific auditions, or if you ever needed immediate assistance, Devon will be the best person to go to. Okay. And then very shortly, you'll get my confirmation email with your username and with your password. Sharon Griggs, yours did not go through. Amy Bryan, yours did not go through either. Kimieter Williams, so Kim Williams, yours did not go through. Parker Clements, yours did not go through either. Madison McIntosh and Martarius Armour, yours did not go through. William Harris, yours did not go through either. Rosa Kerna, yours did not go through. Quentin Clark and Alicia Deschirales, yours did not go through. So for those of you whose forms didn't go through, what may have happened, which usually happens with online purchases, your bank may have either called you, texted you, or emailed you, needing you to authorize that that's you processing it. Authorize it, and then reprocess it again. And the reason this happens is usually it happens with me anytime I do an online purchase. My bank will alert me that I use my card, that somebody used your card. So I just have to authorize that that is me. And then once you do reprocess it, it'll go through. Again, for those of you whose questions I have not answered yet, thank you so much for your patience. I appreciate you. Elijah, absolutely. Any opportunity that comes your way would be great. And then that's also why we provide you with workshops 12 times a month to help you build up the, as far as training. Also, it helps you prepare yourself for the auditions that you'll be submitted out to. Jaleisha, let me resend you the link again. I sent you the link to register under the chat section, but I'll send it to you directly under the Q&A section as well. Dale, no. That's why we did the open call. But when you click on the link to register, once you've registered, I do email you, obviously, your login information, the link to schedule a one-on-one meeting with our castings department, and then the list of the workshops. All of that will be included in the confirmation email. Madison, well, that's what you're doing, just the one-time setup fee. David Rivera, that's great. All of that you can actually add on to your resume. Devra, sounds good. Thank you. Martarius, check under the Q&A section. I just messaged you on there. Ben, you as well. Thank you. Again, if I don't respond back to you guys immediately, please be patient with me. I promise I go through all of your questions to make sure that they're all answered before we end the call. Sharon Griggs, again, yours did not go through. Alicia, I did receive yours. You're good. Lizarania, yours did not go through either. Again, same reason. You may have received a text message needing you to authorize it first. So just authorize it and then reprocess it again. Amy Bryan, check under the Q&A section. I just messaged you on there. So some of you are asking about Apple Pay. You can use your Apple Pay, Google Pay, or PayPal. Let me send you that link right now under the chat section. David Rivera, I did receive yours. You are good. Michael Wurak, so we do let you know ahead of time. As soon as the client lets us know, we let you know. Amanda, I just sent you guys, well, I sent it to everybody, but I know you asked for it. The link to do, you can use your Apple Pay, you can use your Google Pay, or your PayPal. I just sent you that link under the chat section. Sharon Greggs, finally yours went through. Congrats. Give me 1 second. Let me get you in here. Jalicia. Jalicia, I have not received your registration form just yet. What did you register under? Michael, I did receive yours. Daquan Adams, yours did not go through. Same reason why Sharon's was not going through earlier. You may have received a text message or a phone call or an email needing you to authorize it. So authorize it first and then reprocess it again. Amy, I did receive yours. You are good. Daquan, you can use your Apple Pay, Google Pay, or PayPal if you want. I sent you that link right now under the chat section. I'll send it to you directly as well. Is it Asusina? I hope I said that correctly. Christine Boyer. So with the photos and the measurements, I know some of you may not have the most updated measurements right this second, or maybe you don't have the photos on the device that you're currently using. So whenever you log onto your account, you can always update your photos and your measurements whenever you'd like, most definitely. Jalisha, send me your talent ID under the Q&A section. William Harris, check under the Q&A section. I just messaged you on there. Marterias, that's okay. Check under the Q&A section. I just messaged you on there. Michael, so the client does give you a head time of notice because our clients do know that most of our talent have full-time jobs or full-time students. So they let you know at least like 3 to 4 weeks in advance. Daquan, you may need to authorize it and then we'll process it again. Thelma, I did receive it. You're good. Thank you. Again, for those of you who have registered already, you guys are all set to hop out of the call. If you have not registered yet, though, don't just be sitting around. Let me know if you do have any questions under the Q&A section. There's just a few of you I am currently still waiting for. So Ashandi Fernandez, I am still waiting for your registration form. Let's see here. Dan Shihan, I am still waiting for you. Dikwan, I know you're working on yours. Elijah Gillespie, I am still waiting for you. Jonathan and Joyce, I'm still waiting for you. Lazarania, I'm still waiting for you. Martirius and Michael, I'm still waiting for you. No, Michael, I did receive yours. Martirius and Montera, I'm still waiting for you. Parker Clements, I'm still waiting for you. Vita Robinson, I'm still waiting for you. And Wyatt, I'm still waiting for you. And then whoever has logged under Samsung SM, please message me your full name under the Q&A section. Vita Robinson, I do not have your registration form. So let me send you that link right now under the Q&A section. I did send it under the chat section as well. Thelma, no. Whenever you log on to your account, as long as you already updated them, it'll update on your account. Ashanti, I'm just waiting for your registration form. That's all you gotta do, and then I'll email you your login information. Elijah, that's okay. Whenever you log on to your account, you can always update that later. Ashanti, the link expires once I end the call. That's why I wait for you guys to register before I leave. Odell, I sure did. Let me confirm the email that I used. Odell, I sent it to your Gmail, the one that ends with 3 at Gmail. It looks like you did get the text message from Devon already. But yeah, check your Gmail. I send it to your Gmail. Sometimes it goes under the junk and or the spam folder. Oh, Vita Robinson, send me your talent ID, please. Ashanti, she can use the same link. He or she can use the same link. I'll send it to you directly. Ashanti, so she's very new. Again, for those of you who have not registered yet, please don't just be sitting around. Let me know if you do have any questions under the Q&A section. Vita Robinson, not a problem. Thank you. Jalisha, okay, can you send me the phone number that you registered with or your email? I'll look it up for you right now. Jeffrey, you did. Yes, you're good. Jalisha, of course. Let's see here. Vita, I got you. You're good. Thank you. Jeffrey, yeah, you're all set. For those of you who did register, you guys are all set to hop off the call.